I'm expecting dollar strength this week. I'm also expecting Swiss strength. But on the opposite side, I'm expecting New Zealand weakness and I'm expecting maybe this one to go higher, maybe Euro New Zealand to go higher. Um, just to recap a bit of what has happened previously this week, we hit target on dollar Swissy, and we hit target on CAD Swissy. And as much as we hit target, there's a lot of other New Zealand trades that I posted previously that went straight to target, and I can't really say that I traded it because it wasn't really a great opportunity. Like this week, it really did not come back down to my level that I really wanted, but it is I wanted that. So it is kind of what it is. For this upcoming week, we have Bank of Canada, we have interest rate meeting, we have China interest rate meeting, we have some PMIs, we have some GDP, we have some PCE, personal consumption expenditure on Friday. So coming into this week, I said dollar strength. Why did I say dollar strength? I said so dollar strength because it is more likely than ever, I believe, that Trump might be the next president. That is going to drive it this higher. That leads to a lot of political risk. If Biden now this week or next week or the other week says that he is not going to run anymore, that is going to drive demand for dollar because it's going to be much more likely that Trump is going to be the winner. Now is really important to take a note. So, me, I am together with many people here feeling like dollar is strengthening. Sorry, S&P 500 is falling, and I think that is great. I just don't know where the bottom is going to be. I've hoped for this bottom for or fall for the past 3 months. Now, how do I get in here? Because I'm a bull, I'm looking for a bull in a bullish scenario. By the way, whatever I'm talking about in this video is not at all financial advice. It's only my personal opinion. It's only what I do. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't risk money you can afford to lose whatsoever. Something like this. Something like that. It needs a series higher highs and higher lows. Right? And not in the beginning here, but somewhere here or here or here. Now, I'm not going to give you a level. We can all say that that's a good demand level. We can say that's a good demand level. We can say that's a good level. We can say that's a good level. It doesn't really matter the price. It doesn't matter the level. What has to happen at those levels that you have pointed out is a reversal of trend. That is what I'm looking for. That happens to be NASDAQ. That happens to be US 30. All of them, I believe, should have a bit of a run up. Now, I think that just for a sidekick here, that the volatility index for S&P 500 is going to have a bit of a gap today. The reason is the Palestine Israel Houthi situation where Israel apparently attacked them and then they attacked back. So there's going to be elevated risk at the beginning of market open, and then after that we can slowly go back to what we generally were doing. Apparently, seasonality for this volatility index is going to be bullish for July going forward. Now, I mentioned seasonality. Seasonality, a pattern that comes into play from tomorrow is the pound Aussie. Until 2nd of August, that's a good week. Generally speaking, it has been very positive for the past 5 years, 4 or 5 years now, but up to 3% return. Just to make that a bit more, interesting, is that the standard deviation is 1.2. The Sharpe ratio is 4. Anything above 1 is great. And Sorrentino is 8.8. So it's a good kind of it's a good pattern coming in. I also wanted New Zealand, Euro New Zealand to come in higher. Again, only 2.2 Sharpe ratio, but still great. Only 4.5 in Sorrentino, but still it is generally speaking giving us great vibes. And from here going into 20th of August, we have a bit of a less profits. I understand we have not found the bottom. We've already moved on Euro New Zealand, but I just want to mention that for most New Zealand pairs, I can go across other pairs as well, but across New Zealand pairs until mid-August, I am expecting weakness, and it's going to be difficult to catch. But it is these pullbacks that's probably going to happen tomorrow. It's probably going to happen on Tuesday. Hopefully, that's the only way we can get in, at least for myself. And therefore, you can see New Zealand CAD weakness until 7th of October, 12%. Annualized returns. We have New Zealand yen until 24th, 26% annualized returns. You have Euro New Zealand until 20th, 22%. And then you have Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie has already moved. That is my problem, and that is my goal. That is my opportunity. Because if I go over to Euro Aussie, I really hate this one fundamentally, but it is going higher. So I'm just going to mention that to you because now I'm going to go over to a bit more fundamentals. Because what is the current drivers here? I've said the dollar drivers. The euro drivers is the political risk with France. For UK, it was it's a bit of a better underlying core inflation. It is a bit more sticky than others, so pound is going to outperform euro in that situation. But on the other hand, which has happened, but on the other hand, around 1st of August, I think it is, we're going to have a Bank of England meeting where they're going to cut rates. So in that sense, what are you going to do now? Right now on Aussie, also on pound, on Aussie and New Zealand, both of them has peaked somehow. So was gone quite bullish and then now falling. So for Aussie, slightly bullish territory where they have higher inflation than the other countries. They're having better economic performance. So Aussie should be a bit stronger. New Zealand had the only straw left was inflation. Inflation came in at 3.3. Now that economy is bearish, or we are bearish on New Zealand because lack of lower inflation, lack of growth, worse economic conditions. So, and then we have the Japanese yen, and the Japanese yen is very funny at the moment because we have 2.8 inflation. We don't have growth, or they don't have growth. We have a Bank of Japan meeting around end of July. And the question is, market has sent this up quite high to 162 almost, or slightly. And then we're down to 155, which I previously said in some private meetings, and then now 157. Where is this supposed to go? My only thing for Aussie yen or for dollar yen or for euro yen going on this week is, do we make higher highs and do we have make higher lows? I'm still fundamentally bearish on yen, meaning bullish on these pairs. That's why I flipped my words. Sorry, my bad. And I'm just waiting for that to happen. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. With the increased risk that is maybe coming on the market open, this might make a new lower low. Good. I don't really care. I just want one direction, and that is continuing higher, continue the carry trade, continue the trend, and then we'll see what we will end up with. Because we've had a pullback of 500 pips that is back to the same price as we were back in June, or slightly back in May, and slightly back last time we had a Bank of Japan intervention. Has this been 4 interventions this past week? Yes, I believe so. So, where does that lead us? That leads us to a very simple technical analysis. So, our fundamentals are straight up. It is we end weakness completely. We just need higher highs and higher lows. It doesn't need to be complicated other than it breaks higher and lower. And then, my friend, the risk in the Japanese at the moment is elevated and high. I'm just mentioning it to you. So if you do care to trade yen pairs, it is not for the faint-hearted. I'm not going to make you do it, but I'm just going to say that's where I see a lot of opportunity. I see a lot of opportunity in the New Zealand weakness, but these ones are incredibly high. So I guess it is. Does it come back down to 108? Does it come back down to 79? Does it come back down to 0.78? I do not know, but I appreciate it. And that's the only way we can continue forward, is to be given value, or sorry, a discount is always great. Discount is what I want to see on New Zealand pairs. I want to see that new highs on yen pairs. On dollar pairs, as previously mentioned, I'm seeing that some of them has turned around. This one might have another go before going lower. Technically, at least, this is the last man standing. If we break technically below this previous high or low, then become bearish. So we are literally knocking on the door on bearishness on the euro. And also, we have already done that. There's the break, there's the pullback, and then you probably yet again need to see some kind of pullback up here before you can continue sell. For me, my strategy going forward is not going to be very difficult. It's not going to be very, wow, why you're doing that, why are you doing this. New Zealand Swissy, another one that's going to be very aggressively bearish. That means not that I'm going to trade it. That does not mean that I'm going to be aggressively entering. That means that I'm still going to wait for what I need to wait for, which is pullbacks, which is coming back up to previous support broken, which is back up to 54.54, and I will not trade beyond that pullback that I need to have. So when I say something is expected to be aggressively lower or higher or whatever, that only means that that's what I expect the market to be doing based upon price action, based upon what generally tends to happen in this time of year, and then I'll leave it alone because those conditions are not what I normally look for. Going over to your beloved gold. In my simple opinion, I'm not going to give you a lot of opinions here, but and that one is that we've hit weekly target last week. That is significant price, but we've not hit monthly target at 2,550, and we are now back down to central. What does that mean? That means that this is the only time. Sorry, this is the first time you are allowed to start. Hold on a minute. I went up there. Ah, okay, cool. Fair enough. Whatever then. I've been doing something else. Let me use this one instead because that one I know works. Do apologize for that, sir. Bit of hiccup. Yeah, okay. It wasn't like I thought it was. Okay, we have gone way beyond target. Doesn't really matter. This one's free fall. Let it fall. Let it turn around. And if you want to see some kind of bias again, maybe 23.33 and then bounce, or at around current level at 2400. Now you need to have a reversal and all of that. So it's not at all ready to be buying, but I still have a bullish direction on gold. I have a bullish direction on dollar. I have a bullish direction on Swiss. I have a bearish direction on New Zealand. I have a bearish direction on yen, and I have a bearish direction on Aussie. Probably also euro. So until next week, hope you guys makes a lot of profits. I'll see you in Discord. Boom.